Hard times. Not really hard times, but it feels like hard times. Since, Christmas, New Year's, it seems like a lot of things have been going wrong. No major disasters, nobody's died, and I'm not bankrupt and out on the streets or anything, but I've had a puncture in the car, I've had to fix some bits on the bike, and another bike broke down and I've had to fix some bits on that bike, and problems with things breaking down at work, and then other people phoning me up with problems. It's just everyday life, and it is just everyday life, but what I've noticed is that it comes and it goes in waves. You have a period where everything you touch just works, everything you do just comes together properly, and everybody's just getting along just fine. And then correspondingly you have periods like this where you have that reverse Midas touch that I call it, where everything that you touch turns to, well, poop, shall we say. And that's just life. And why does that happen? Is it actually something that happens, or is it something that we perceive to happen? You see, I personally believe it's something that we perceive to happen. When everything's going well, you're upbeat and you're happy, and when everything's going badly, you get yourself a little bit down and a little bit down in the dumps. So why do things come and go in waves? Well, they don't. When you're up, when everything's going well, and a small thing happens, like the bike breaks down or you lose your keys or something like that, but everything else goes okay, it's a frustration, but you get on with it and you deal with it. And then we have phases in our life where several bad things come together all at once, and if a good thing happens, you tend to barely notice. You just think, oh, it's still bad because this is wrong and that is wrong and the other is wrong. And it's inevitable that it will come and go in waves like that, because we're a species that's tuned to look for patterns. Patterns are part of our survival. We look for patterns in life because patterns help us predict the future, and our ability to predict the future is essential to our survival. Knowing that at the time of the year when the rains come, that the wildebeest will be rolling across soon, is the time to get your hunting tools ready. Knowing as well that after the wildebeest have come and gone and the days start getting shorter, we know it's time to start battening down the hatches and preparing for the forthcoming winter. So we are genetically pre-programmed to look for these patterns. But since we've become intelligent and taken ourselves out of the world of animals and survival and stuff like that, we're still looking for patterns. So when good things happen and bad things happen, we start to see patterns where there might not necessarily be any. But that's an aside, I suppose. I'm waffling a bit. Good things happen and bad things happen. One of the things I'm enjoying about getting older is the fact that I can cope with the bad things a bit better. I think that's because when you're young and bad things happen, it's the first or amongst the first time that bad things happen, and they're a disaster as far as you're concerned. By the time you get to your mid-40s like me, you've seen plenty of good things and you've seen plenty of bad things. You tend not to get too excited about the good, and you tend not to get too down about the bad. So times come and times go, and hopefully for you they'll keep on coming and going, and hopefully for me they'll keep on coming and going. I don't want to fall onto really hard times, and I'm actually scared of things going too well for too long, because when you're up and you're up and you're up, you realise there's only one way to go, and that's down. I like a nice happy medium myself, a nice steady balance. When people ask me, how are you? My favourite answer is remarkably average. And they look kind of disappointed or surprised at that. Well, I like remarkably average. Remarkably average is nicely in the middle. I'm very, very good at being average. In actual fact, I'm very average at being average. So, yeah, let's just hope things stay average, or at least return to average. They're not bad at the moment, they're just not quite as good as they could be.